Let's start with number one. New, few, grew. S-E-W is pronounced, what do you think? The answer is so. What? Are you kidding me? Yes, it's irregular. It's pronounced so, like the word so, S-O, and rhymes with go and no. To sew, that's when you use a needle to connect pieces of fabric. Not a very good impression there. In a sentence, my mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. So the past tense is sewed and the past participle is sewed or sewn. And this is a sewing machine, not a sewing machine, which is what a personal injury lawyer does. That's kind of a joke. To sue means to ask for financial compensation in the law courts. Okay. Next one. Can you get this? Dome, alone, home, sometimes come, and some. A bit different. And what about this? Well, fun fact, it isn't epitome, but epitome. Epitome. And this means a perfect example of something. For example, you are the epitome of a hard-working English student, aren't you? So you've probably gathered by now that English pronunciation is regular and predictable. And when I say regular and predictable, I mean irregular and unpredictable. Okay, that's not quite true. Let's look at the facts. There are rules, believe it or not. Yes, there are rules. 70% of English spelling follow the rules. Okay, that still leaves about 30% that doesn't, which is actually quite a lot. And this video is about the words that break the rules of spelling and pronunciation in cases where there is a rule. So I'm not talking about your normal, everyday, commonplace, irregular pronunciation, such as women or leopard or mare, or the O-U-G-H words, because with the O-U-G-H words, spoiler alert, there is no rule at all. You have rough and cough and dough and hiccup. Yes, that's right, hiccup. By the way, we do have a video on pronouncing the O-U-G-H sound. Check it out. This combination of letters is pronounced goatee, okay? Whatever people say, it's not pronounced fish. You could say, but GH is pronounced F in enough, and O is pronounced E in women, and TI is pronounced sh in nation, but not a combination of those words together. It's pronounced goatee. Words that start with GH are always pronounced G. Words ending in TI are always pronounced T. There are rules. So the words in this list are rule breakers, the bad boys of the English language that slap you in the face in the morning after you get up and piss in your spiced pumpkin latte in the afternoon. Let's continue with today's lesson. And you can, yes, you can try and get the pronunciation correct and let us know in the comments how you do. Next one. To bind, to blind, to grind, to wind. Who said to wind? That was a trick question, you see. Now this one does follow the rule. The word that doesn't is wind, the wind that blows and ruffles your hair. That's irregular, but as a verb, to wind is a regular pronunciation. And what does it mean? It means to turn something round to make the mechanism work, like an old clock or watch. You wind your watch, okay? The negative is unwind. And you can also use the word unwind to mean to relax, especially after you've been doing something stressful, okay, because the mechanism slowly relaxes. So for example, every day after coming home from work, I unwind in front of the fire in my dressing gown, my slippers, where I smoke a pipe and read the Financial Times. How do you unwind? Sound, found, round, bound, and wound. To wound. Yes, that's right. A wound is an injury you get in a fight, perhaps, or when your skin is cut by something. Yes, there is blood. It's different to hurt, which is about pain. With wound, it's about the cut. It's a verb too. So, for example, I was wounded in a duel that I fought with a man when I was protecting the lady's honor. Okay? Wounded is the past of to wound. But, and here's where it gets tricky, we talked a moment ago of the verb to wind, remember? To wind. What's the past tense of to wind? Well, it's irregular, it's wound. Same spelling, different pronunciation. Wound. Yes, that's right. W-O-U-N-D has two pronunciations, two different words entirely. I wound up my watch. Yesterday I unwound in front of the fire with a dry sherry. Okay. To hear, to clear, to fear, to, what do you think? I think you got it. It's to tear, as in I tear up. I tear up this invitation to Buckingham Palace. Some of you know that screaming at me now. No, isn't it tear? Ah, well, yes, tear is a word. There's another word, tear, when you cry. It's also spelt T-E-A-R, but it's pronounced tear. For example, the tears of a clown, when there's no one around. Let's continue. Now, how, cow, row or row? Row or row? What do you think? Once again, this is a trick question. There are two words, row, which means an argument, and it rhymes with cow. I had a row with a cow, if that helps you remember it. And a noun, a row, which means a number of things or people in a straight line. For example, at school, I always sat in the back row. There was also another verb, actually, to row, which is what you do in a rowing boat. You know, you row. Okay. So there are two ways to pronounce the OW words: cow, brow, row, now, or show, blow, know, grow, and row. That's it. Easier. Not easy? Okay, please yourself. Next one. Certain, ceiling, center, celery, and, come on, say it, you know you want to. And the answer is Celtic. Yes, that's right. Some football fans out there are now getting angry, saying, no, I'm sure it's Celtic. Well, yes, but only for the football team. The football team in Glasgow is called Celtic. But in all other situations, it's pronounced Celtic. The CE is pronounced Celtic here. A Celtic language, Welsh is a Celtic language or a Celtic civilization. Next we have about, out, scout, mouth, and, I'm sure you've got this one, root. That's right, it's pronounced root, like R-O-O-T, root. At least in British English. In American English, it's regional. Some places they say root, and some places they say route, like out. But I remember the song Route 66 by Chuck Berry, not Route 66. If you're American, you can let us know in the comments how you pronounce that word. Next one. Author, slaughter, daughter, and gorge. You might think it's gorge, but breaking news, it isn't. It's gauge, which has many different meanings. It can mean to estimate. I gave you an English test to gauge your level. or it can be the standard measure of something. Trains in Spain and France have different gauges. That's the width of the track. Arch, parcel, march, and scarce, meaning in short supply. Some of the raw materials used in mobile phones are very scarce. Next one. Loop, hoop, troop, swoop. Cooperate. Cooperate. I guess I'm cheating a little bit this time. In British English, it's still sometimes spelt with a hyphen, cooperate, which makes it easier to pronounce. But the hyphen is disappearing, and it has completely disappeared as far as I'm aware in American English, where it's written like that. Cooperate. Stole, whole, soul. Come on, how hard can it be? Well, quite hard actually, because the answer is hyperbole. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement that we use as a figure of speech. So, for example, when she said she was leaving me, my jaw dropped to the ground. Okay, it didn't literally drop to the ground. True story though, I remember learning this word from a book when I was a teenager, perhaps about 15 years old, and I tried to show off my new word in the class once, and I said hyperbole, and my teacher mocked me. And to this day, I still have traumas about this word. Anyway, next one. Totally, fatally, Sally, ally, ally. An ally is someone on your side. Britain and France were at war for many centuries, but now we are allies. So that's what they say. So nothing, rhythm, bathing, and knighthood. Okay, knighthood. Yes, that's right. The TH is almost always pronounced th or the, but there are a few exceptions, usually in compound words. A knighthood, by the way, is an honour given by the Queen that makes you a sir. I'm still waiting for my knighthood. Oi, Queen, if you're watching, where's my knighthood? Services to the English language teaching industry. Next one's a bit obscure, but see if you can get it anyway. Seed, indeed, feed, and the answer is pureed, also spelled like this with an accent, because it comes from French. The word puree is to mash something up into a very small paste. So the verb is to puree, and the past tense is pureed. After I lost my teeth, I pureed all my food. So how did you do? Do you have any rule breakers of your own that you want to add to the list? If you want more pronunciation videos, then let me know in the comments. If you want more grammar videos, then let me know in the comments. Have a nice day. I'm out of here.